I'm Jonathan Hayes from Hayes 360 Music, and I first want to go ahead and tell you guys to visit my blog, Hayes 360 Music. I'm sorry, hayes360.blogspot.com. And why? Because I give away tabs all the time for free. A million bits and pieces of tabs. Sometimes I make up myself, sometimes from other artists, but I'm going to tell you what, no one does what I do on my blog. Not one blog, not one website, no one does. I guarantee you that. On Mondays, Postmodern Monday, I've got indie hip-hop, indie rock, indie folk, indie anything. I give away I review 2 songs, give away some tabs, either intro, riff, something that's going to make you leave the blog feeling all satisfied and warm inside. Tuesday, Top 5 Tuesdays, Top 5 lists, tabs every time for them, no matter what, so you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes technical, sometimes not, sometimes thematic, you never know. Wednesdays, Ween Wednesday, where I always give a tab away from the band Ween. Yes, an obscure band from the 90s, but it's my blog. Thursday, Editorial Thursday, that's usually tabless, but sometimes I'll give one. Just my opinion, that's all. Friday, wrapping up the weekend, it's the best in hip-hop, soul, funk, and R&B then and now. So it's always 2 selections, one modern, one older, something like 8 years and older. That's pretty much the parameters for that one. And check it out. It's new content, original content, all the time, every time. Trust me. I know. So like I said, BAMF, B-A-M-F, it's an action word. So I've got an email from our friend Felix from Paris, and he's asking if you want to improvise on the song Untitled, How Does It Feel, from D'Angelo, what scale would I recommend? Well, Felix, I will tell you right now that I will give you a lot more than just a scale. Because I don't know what scale I would recommend, to be quite honest. If someone put a gun to my head and made me improvise to that song, I would have to dig into a huge box of tricks and some kind of theoretical and some kind of instinctual. And that's exactly what I want to talk to you about right now. When we're improvising, you're kind of using a synergy between science and instinct. And some of that instinct is your experience, and some of that instinct is your practice. So we're going to talk about this little yin-yang thing going on first. So you asked me a science question. You know, what science would you use? You know, something from theory. What scale would I use? And the truth is that I would use, first I would use the pentatonic major, the D pentatonic major, because the song is originally in D. If I had to, you know, give you a scale. But let's talk about the scale a little bit. First of all, I want you to see my hand. It is not either Lady Gaga or the Illuminati. It is just a diagram of where I want you to ride your hand on the fretboard, and you're going to hook your thumb. You're not going to hook it, I mean, if you want to play it like that, go ahead, but this is not what I'm showing you. What I'm doing is I'm hooking it like this. So it's kind of like I'm holding it like that. Now this is where I'm going to ride on the fretboard. Everywhere I go in the back of the neck, this guy is going to be taped on there. And I'm going to pivot off at this point. So let's take a look at a couple of boxes in a common voicing for the D major pentatonic. 10th fret, 7th fret, 10th fret, 7th fret, 9th fret, 7th fret, 9th fret, 7th fret, 9th fret, 7th fret, 10th fret. Now, everyone, I don't want to say everyone, but a lot of guitarists overlook this guy. And when I say overlook, it doesn't mean they don't play it. They kind of just skim through it really quickly. It's all, or something like that, I don't know. But what I'm saying is that you have to spend a considerable amount of time in some of these boxes in the major pentatonic to play over R&B. R&B uses a prolific amount of restraint when you're playing these, and phrasing is very important. So let's talk about phrasing. What do I mean by that? I mean little bits of notes, 3 to 6 bits, that's it. And I'm going to do that on the 3rd string real quick and kind of show you what I'm talking about. Just little tiny bits just like that. It's just something you can kind of add in. If you had to not play after that and give it a second, you can. And then pop another one in. If you listen, first of all, to the recording, that's what you're going to hear in the background. Now, when you're phrasing, this is a real art form. This is a real art form. To play through a pentatonic major or minor scale, any blues scale out there, just to rip through it, that's okay. Yeah, that's nice and it's impressive, but there's no feeling behind it. And what do I mean by feeling? See, a lot of people talk about this. They say, you need to have soul, you need to have feeling, and you do, but no one ever talks about how you get that, right? There's like, you're either born with it or you're not. The truth is that soul is how much time you have manipulating the notes, getting intimate with the notes, getting intimate with the guitar and the strings. How much soul you have, how much feeling you have is based off of those experiences right there. And that's why a lot of people don't have soul, because when they go through these scales, they kind of play through it. Another example is maybe on the B minor pentatonic. A lot of people just kind of rip through it. But what about controlling each note through the bends? Or being very gentle with those notes and getting enough time to where you're able to just make music with one string. That's where you want to be first of all. You're going to use this hand position right here and kind of pivoting off this as your technique to do that. You're going to use your wrist to guide everything to get those going. If your bends are fine, and your vibrato's fine, and all that stuff, and your knowledge of the pentatonic major is fine, great. Let's move on. So, if the song was playing and I had to improvise over this song, I probably wouldn't stay, though, here in this. I kind of get old really fast. Well, maybe not really fast. I guess I could stretch it a little bit, but it started getting repetitive. You know, I'd have to start making up some chords or pre-bending. Or playing the passing tones in between some of these boxes. But again, I'll start running out of ideas, and then boom, our creativity's gone, and that's a no-no in improvisation. You got to be highly creative when you improv or solo over something like this. So, what would I do now? Now that I'm done and I've got good phrasing, and I know that D just back and forth, I have different voicings, I can do all kinds of things. Well, the first thing we can look at is going to be arpeggios. So first of all, can you arpeggiate the D? If you can, just a real common voicing, or it's kind of a more classical one. If we're playing just a regular D, though, we can do one over here. I'm not really doing like an orthodox one right now because it's not important. The D, you don't stay on it very long. What's more important is going to be linking the more interesting flavors of the A minor 9, this G major 9, and this kind of, the way I'm throwing it out is kind of this minor 6 type of thing, and then a 13. Now, if you don't know what that means, then that will be in the tabs. We're not going to go too deep into that right now. But there will be another Friday video very soon, which I'll be going over a lot of jazz chords. If not, look at my blog for a blog entitled Harmony for the ADHD Guitarist, and all of those are going to be in there too. So check it out there too. Anyways, so let's talk about arpeggiating some things. So what I want to do is I want to bypass all of the really technical explanations because of one or two reasons. One, if you already know it, well, there you go, it's repetitive. And if you don't know it, it's too much information to go delve into in this video. So, and there's a lot of information on the internet. There's everywhere. You're on the internet, so there you go. What I'm going to show you is, again, now the instinct, the bro science behind some of this. If you can just find the tab for a chord, what I want you to do is find that chord and start finding other voicings for that chord. So the voicing that I provide is the one here, this 12, 10, 12, 12. Now, you can take these notes and find them somewhere else, and you have another voicing. Now, the other thing you can do is start stretching out from that chord and seeing what is it attached to, or what can it possibly attach to. You start doing this and you're exercising the improv muscle in your brain. That's what's more important than any scale or anything like that. So again, look at this A minor 9. Boom. Where am I near? I'm near the D major, first of all. I know that much. I'm also, in the voicing that I provide, I'm also near this G major 9. So from here, all I'm doing is just picking upwards or arpeggiating on this G major 9. And technically I'm descending. So there's one right there. So I can start here. Kind of hit my notes. Try moving them around. Just experiment. Why? Is because there's no amount of information that's printed that's ever going to replace that. Now, don't get me wrong, there's no amounts of information from your experience that will ever replace what science theory can give you. But you have to, again, like I say, come with a synergy with both of those. And so it's easy to get the theory part down. The internet has revolutionized everything with that. You can get that stuff. You want to learn chord harmony? Look at my blog, go on the internet, go everywhere. You want to learn jazz chords, any kind of 4-note chord or beyond from there? It's everywhere. But this experience of grabbing a chord shape and doing two things with it. One, finding another voicing for that, just getting intimate with where notes are in the fretboard. And second of all, branching out and seeing what's attached to that chord voice in that particular one. So again, when I'm in this one, I'm near my A, and here's a couple of things that I can do with this. I can go here, where am I? I mean, it's real basic, but a little thing I can do there. And why am I doing that? Well, because, or why? How am I doing that? Because now we're going to move out of arpeggios for a second, and we're going to talk a little bit about modes. So when I play the D major scale, wherever I want to play it, I count them out: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 8th is the octave, so it's the same as the 1. And what I'm going to do is find out where my chord lays in that, or lies in that, I don't know, in that scale. This A major 9, or A minor 9, is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. I can easily belt out a nice little Mixolydian riff by just chromatically descending from the 5th fret down to the 2nd fret. And then boom, boom, boom. Return back. I mean, just a little bit of tension. It's sassy tension. It's not, you know, horrible tension. Go back to my D any way I want to. my problem tonight. So anyways, when we're doing the modal approach, that's the little things we can do right there. So we start going vine to vine, arpeggiating a chord, and branch out. Look around. Find a modal vine, or find another arpeggio. So again, from here, I know I have a modal one. I can go to my Ionian or my major scale for my D major, if I want to do that. Now this is, I'm really kind of tossing this out, really textbook sounding. I'm going to put out a separate video of me improvising over it, just in case they shut it down when I play the audio. I don't want them to shut this lesson down. So anyways, when we're playing over the modal approach, we have, again, another place that takes it to another vine. If I do this little Mixolydian, almost bebop, I can arpeggiate my D if I want to, and then play it over here if I want. So we have a blues phrasing, which really should be what's called your pocket groove. It's just something that your pocket groove, but it's something you want up in the pocket. It's something you just want. Close your eyes. You got to do something now. You're out of ideas. You go back to here and you start phrasing. And from there, you're going to branch out with some of these arpeggios, and then boom, you a couple little modal lines from there, and you're improvising. But you've got to do this kind of practice in private. Put these together, see what happens from there. Get used to expanding out from wherever a chord shape or a scale is written down. So again, synergy between science and instinct. You need both. You need theoretical knowledge and you need some experience. And you won't get experience from theory, and you won't get theory from experience. Now you can confirm things through experience in theory. You can be like, oh, well, that sounded good. Why did it sound good? Go back, crack a book open, go on the website, go on a website anywhere, and figure it out, and you'll see, oh, okay, well, it confirmed something. But to do it, just, boom, here's a song, play over it. You got to have that raw wisdom with it, that experience with it, and that again comes from just bravely branching out and seeing where else you can go. But that's really, at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. Anyways, that's how the theory got made, was from that very instinct right there. So every player should have that instinct in them to do that. Now, when I'm doing that, I can start substituting some of these chords if I want. I'm not going to go too deep into chord substitution right now. I'm just saying it's a possibility. And the rabbit hole can just keep going deeper and deeper. But it starts first with daring to branch out. So if I'm here, okay, so I'm in my D major pentatonic, and I know right here takes me right to my A minor 9. If I want to, though, I can take just two notes, make a dyad out of it, and start messing around from there. And that's how you'll start getting more ideas. And then from there, you've got an engine. Because you've got two things helping you out now. You've got a little bit of theory, and you've got a little bit of instinct, and then boom, you're working. From here, I can just do what I want. It's about the creativity at this point. It's about finding the new vines to swing from. I can go from... to my D any way I want. Again, what was all these things I was doing? Back to modal approach, or I arpeggiated, and I found chords and other voicings by doing just that. Taking a nice 13 chord, finding out how else can I play that somewhere else. That's the point of improv. It's being able to swing between all of these vines just like that. Boom. Or rather, BAMF, B-A-M-F. I love that word because I have no idea why I love it, but I do. So I hope that answers your question, but if it doesn't, then let me leave you with this one thing right here. Music can be played anywhere, on any string, on any fret. It's just going to take you branching out. Remember, you are a half step away from the right note wherever you are. So think about that. Add in new flavors. Check out all of the different tabs that I'm going to be putting down on tonight's or today's blog, and run through them. Put them together, see what you can do, and hopefully you can. And anyone who's watching this can make a video showing you improvising over this song too, so I can check it out. All right, guys, subscribe again. You're going to see a lot of me, and now that the blog is rebranded and we have new things going on. And I want you guys again to like, subscribe, talk about it, let people watch this video, and I hope you're excited for what's about to happen. I'm excited for what's about to happen, which is going to be awesome tabs, awesome videos, and everything else in between. Remember, I have a backdrop now, so now I can conquer the world. So take it easy, guys. I will see you all later.